In our third and final part of this tutorial, we're going to be making the contact page for the Isuzu website. As you can see on your screen right now, we've got an example of how this contact page is going to look. It's basically a Google map at the top, and we've got some information at the bottom showing us about the dealership where you can actually buy Isuzu Utes and MUXs from on the Sunshine Coast. Got the usual header and menu bar at the top, and if we look down the bottom, we've got a copyright statement as well. So let's get into this, and we'll start by going over to brackets. Okay, you should have these 4 files from previous tutorials all made up. We've got our index, our home page, we've got the DMAX page, we've got the MUX page done up, and we've got a style sheet, so our style.css sheet at the bottom. Alright, so we're going to make one more new document, and we're going to go to File and Save As. We're just going to give it a meaningful name. So go into your Lesson 12 folder, and we're going to call it contact.html, and save it. Then we can get started, just like we usually do, by doing our doctype HTML tag at the top. Open up some HTML tags below that. Open up a head section, and in that head section we'll do a title first of all that says Contact Isuzu Ute, and straight after that title we're going to link up our style sheet. So I'm going to write the word link rel equals and choose style sheet. After that we do type equals text CSS, and then we do our href and link it to the actual style.css document. So as I said before, that line of code there will simply link over to the style CSS document, and all the formatting that we've already got written up in our CSS document will be applied to our contact page now. Alrighty, I'll just rearrange those, put contact above style there. That's our head section all finished, so we'll keep going down and we'll begin the body section. Alright, inside the body, straight away, I'm going to make a div tag. I'm going to do the first divider in our page, and that's going to be the header section at the top. So we'll start with a H1 heading that says Isuzu Ute Australia. Now once we've got that written in, we're going to go down to a new paragraph, and we're going to make our menu bar like we usually do. Now to save time, I'm just going to go back to the MUX page. I'm going to copy and paste this section. Okay, so here's our P tag, which we've just written up, and here's our menu. So unordered list, with our list items, and then I'll go to the other unordered list here, where it closes off. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it in. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Saved me a lot of time. It's no different from the other 3 pages that we've already made. We've got the 4 list items, home, DMAX, MUX, and contact. They're our 4 buttons. They should be appearing on our page now if I press Ctrl S and save it. We'll go and open this contact up and have a look. There's our menu bar working, and also our H1 heading. Let's go back to brackets and we'll keep on moving. That's our top section all done, so that's only a small div there. In the next part, we're going to do the main section of our web page. So we're going to do the div and give it the ID equals main. Okay, so inside this div, the first thing I'm going to do is put in a little heading. So I'll make a new paragraph for it. Do our H2 tags. It's not the most important heading, but it's still a bit more important than the usual body text, so we'll still give it a bit of size. It's going to say contact us. Okay, so I've saved that now. Just give it a preview. We've got our white section here, which is the main section, and we've got contact us. Now below that we want to put in a Google map. And the way we put in the Google map, you're going to go back to your folders here where you've got everything saved, and go into the images, and you'll see that there's some Google Maps code. It's a little text document. All you need to do is pick that code up and copy it. Then we're going to go back to brackets, and on the next line below the contact us we'll make a new paragraph and simply press Ctrl V to paste that code in. Okay, that code is showing us the exact location of the Pacific Isuzu, which is the dealership on the Sunshine Coast. What I'm going to do, I'm going to style up this iframe, or this Google map, in our style sheet a bit later. So I'm just going to delete the width and the height for now, and I'm also going to delete the border for now. Okay, the other two things will stay there, frame border equals 0 and allow full screen. They can't be styled up in CSS, but we'll leave them there. If we press Ctrl S to save it, go and have a look at the map. Is it going to load for us? Yep, there it is. Just a small one at the moment. What we will do is format that using CSS very shortly. Okay. So coming up a bit lower, I'm going to stay inside this div and just go down a bit lower. Make another new paragraph. And in this paragraph we're going to do a H3 heading now, so we're going to drop even smaller than our H2. Inside the H3 heading we're just going to write Pacific Isuzu Ute. This is the name of the dealership where you can actually buy these cars. Alright, below that we're going to put their contact details into a table. So we're going to make a table tag. Down on the next line we will do the first row in the table. So do a TR tag for that. In that first row we're going to put in some table data. Okay, so TD stands for table data. And inside of that we're going to write in their address to begin with. So what we're going to do, we're going to make their address stand out a little bit by writing in a span tag and a strong tag. Remember, strong makes your text bold, and span, we've already gone over to our style sheet and we've already changed the span. Where is it? Down here. So it's going to be red text, slightly larger than usual, and it's going to be uppercase font. Okay, so that's what the span tag does, and strong just makes it bold. What we're going to do is write the word address inside of those tags. I'm going to save the page and just go and have a look at it. Okay, so we've got Pacific Isuzu Ute, and this is the start of our table, the address down here. So let's keep going. On the next line below the address, I'm simply going to write BR, which does a line break. It just pops us down to the next line in the web page. Okay, instead of making a new paragraph, it just goes down another line, which is not quite as big as a new paragraph. We're going to write in the address, 721 Nicklin Way. We'll go down to the next line again, do another BR code. We're going to write Currimundi, Queensland, 4551. Okay, down a bit further we'll do another paragraph now. And inside that paragraph we're going to do the span and the strong tags again. And what we're going to have here is contact. Okay, so I might bump this down another line. Actually, no, I'll leave it as it is. On the next line, we'll just do a BR tag. That'll look better. In there, we're going to write the word strong, and we're going to write the word phone with a colon. And put a space after it. Now outside the strong tags we only want the word phone in strong and then the phone number just in normal writing, so 07543848888. Down the next line we'll do a similar thing, so BR will come in, we'll do strong tag, this time we're doing the fax, so write fax colon space, and the fax number we're going to do is 075438 and 4899. And finally in this little section we'll put in the last BR, we'll make it strong, and we're going to write the word email colon space. Now after the strong tag we're going to put in the email address, which is inquiries at pacificisuzu.com. Okay, now we need to turn that into an email link. So the way we do that is we just go before the word inquiries and write ahref equals, now you write the word mail to, colon, and write that email address again. inquiries at Pacific Isuzu.com, and then we just close that pointy bracket. Make sure that we move that closing A tag after the website address there, the email link there. So we've got ahref equals mail to, and we mail it to that email address. This is the actual link that will appear on our page, and that closes our link off, that little A there. So what I'm going to do there is close my TD tag if it hasn't done so already. So just close the TD section off. That's the first column in our table. If we save that and go and have a look, we'll see how it's coming along. Okay, it's not looking too bad. There are a few changes we'll need to make. The first that I've spotted is this contact here. We've got a big paragraph space here before we go down and get the contact details in. So what I want to do there, after the word contact, I've closed the paragraph off. I'm actually going to cut that P out and leave that there until after our hyperlink for our email there. So I'm going to save that again. Go and refresh the page. And let's just push it up, looks a bit nicer. The other issue we've got here is our link for our email. We're going to need to change that because at the moment it's formatted like one of the other links up the top for our menu bar. So all we need to do is go into where we've got our A tag here, put a space and write ID equals, and then we write hyperlink in quotation marks, because over in our style sheet here we've already styled up the hyperlink to look like an original link that's just blue with an underline. So let's save that up, we'll preview it, and now our email link looks a bit nicer. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I might add in a little bit more. So we've got that TD section done there. We're going to go down and add another column to the table. And the way we do that is simply go TD again. So we're making another table data section. And we're going to do the opening hours. So I'm going to do span and strong. And I'm going to write sales opening hours. Down on the next line, after sales opening hours, I'm just going to simply do BR. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it in 6 more times. So in total we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different opening hours for the 7 days of the week. So we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The office hours on a Monday are 8 AM to 5:30 PM. I'm going to copy that for all the other weekdays, all the way to Friday. Yes. Saturday's different, it's 8 AM till 4 PM, so just change the 5:30 there to a 4 PM. And Sunday you just need to write closed. Alrighty, so that's all we're going to do in that column of the table. Let's just press Ctrl S and save it. Go and have a look. Okay, so we've got our sales opening hours in column 2 of our table. And finally we've got our last column that we want to add in. So let's add in another TD tag. Oops, just pressed the wrong button there. Okay, inside that TD tag, we're just going to do our span and strong tags again. And inside there, we're going to do the heading that says available at this dealership. Okay, and coming down on the next line below that is an unordered list. Okay, so just some bullet points it is. I'm not going to style these up in any way, so I'm just going to keep them simple. One of them will say sales. One of them is going to say service. And the last list items, the last bullet point will say spare parts. Alright, so we close our unordered list. Make sure our table data or our column is finished off. If we look below that, we should finish our table row off. Okay, so we've got quite a big table row here. It's with 3 columns with all that information inside it. And let's just close off Yeah, that'll do. Press save, Control S. We'll go and preview it. Okay, so we've got our 3 columns into the table. They don't look very good at the moment, but it will very shortly once we finish styling it. The other thing I want to add in down the bottom is the copyright statement, so you might as well do that while we're here. So I'm going to just make sure the table and div tag there that are closed off are done with. We'll come over and we'll do one final div section. This is for our copyright statement, as I just said. So we're going to do a new paragraph, and we're going to give it the ID of footer, so it can be styled up like all the other footers or paragraphs that we've got down the bottom of each other page. Okay, inside there we've just got copyright with the copyright symbol, so and copy semicolon. 2016 Isuzu Ute Australia. P tag's closed, the div's closed off. We'll just bring this body section and HTML section back up, close off our page, save it up, preview it. There's our copyright statement. So now it's just a matter of formatting this section in the middle to get it looking good, and then what we're going to do is we're going to finish up actually. So let's pop back over to brackets. The first thing I'm going to do is go to our CSS over here, our style sheet. Go right to the bottom. Let's start styling up this table first of all. So I'm just going to give myself a bit of room so you can see what I'm doing here. So inside the table, curly brace, make sure you've opened up a curly brace. We want to change the width of the table to be 100% of the page. Okay, and also with the table, we're going to do table layout, and we're going to choose fixed. That's all we're going to do for the table, so just close your curly brace off, save it up, and we'll go and have a look at this table here. Let's see how it's turning out now. Okay, because it's 100% of this div tag, it fills up 100% width. It's now spread out all the way across that div tag. Alright, so back in to brackets here, we're going to keep going. We're going to format the table data section next, so each of the columns. What we're going to do is put in some padding. I'm going to choose 50 pixels. That's going to put a nice chunk of space between each of the columns. And we're going to choose vertical align as top. I'll show you what that does in a sec. I'll just save that. At the moment our text isn't all aligned nice and neatly. We want all this red text aligned perfectly with one another. So that's why we did vertical align as top, and that now makes this text all aligned with one another across the top of the table. And remember, there is a table here, we just can't see the borders on it. Alright, if that's looking good, let's keep going. We're nearly done. Just below the TD section, we want to style up the iframe section, and that's our Google Map section. So inside the iframe style tag, all we want to do is make the border equal to 0. We've got the width set to 100%, and we're going to change the height to 350 pixels and close the curly braces. So that's our Google Map. No border around the outside of it. Fill up 100% of the div tag it's inside of, and the height of that Google Map will be 350 pixels. Control S to save, or refresh the page and have a look. We've now got a nice big Google Map at the top there, and we've got some good detail happening down here. There's a fair bit of space between Pacific Isuzu Ute and the table. We'll just go see if we can change that on the contact page. So what have we got? We've got Pacific Isuzu Ute here and the table. What I might do is delete that paragraph, and instead we'll close it off after the table finishes. So it starts just before the table, it finishes just after the table. Let's save it and test that, and we'll see what sort of change that makes. Bugger all. Still that big gap there, so I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. So we might just leave it for now. I'll go back and have a look and see if there's anything else that needs changing. We've got the map looking good, the email address, that link will work. That section's all good. If we have a look at the actual finished copy, We can see Pacific Isuzu Ute centered. So there is some formatting we can do to it. Let me have a look. It is a H3 heading, and we haven't styled a H3 heading up yet, so let's do that now in our style tags. Instead of styling up down the bottom, I'm going to scroll back up to where my other H1 and 2 headings are, which is just here. I'm going to go just below that, and I'll keep them all in the same area. Alright, so for the H3 tag, what can we do to it? We might do text align as center, text transform uppercase. Oops. We'll close the curly braces off and we'll have a look at how that's going, and we'll see if that changes our page at all. Okay, so that's just moved our Pacific Isuzu header there into the middle, and it's also put it into capital letters using the text transform option. Apart from that, if we go back and look at the original, it looks pretty much the same. Go back and look at mine, it's looking pretty much the same as well. I don't think there's anything else I would change in this area. So that is a completed website. So you should be able to go through your 4 pages now. Up the top, MUX, DMAX, homepage. You can scroll through those and you can see that they all look great. Alrighty, we're all done. So back in brackets now, make sure you've got all 4 pages saved up plus your style sheet. I know that was a little bit confusing, having a style sheet in its own separate document. So you don't style the website up anymore actually in the HTML, but you style it up in its own CSS document. That's the professional way to be styling your web pages. So from now on, when you make a website, you need to make your own CSS file for them. Okay, save it all up and you are done.